Hey world builders, welcome back to Build Together. This is day 158. Today's prompt is, are there any franchises in your world? If not, why? If yes, describe one that is well known. I wrote two documents. I wrote the general franchising in Attovia, how that exists, what it looks like, and then Amiri Storefronts, which is one of the sort of middle of the road franchise situations. Now, in the last few centuries, there's been a lot of open trade and borders and a general expansion of trade and the ideas and practice and theory around trade during this time of rest, which is the current era that Attovia is in. And one of these developments that took hold in the last 150 years is the idea of franchising. Now, I don't really think Attovians call it franchising. It would be maybe more like leasing out your trade, or honestly, just I will train an apprentice who then gives me some of the profit. They might not even have a word for it, some of them. But this idea, this concept has started to take hold because it wasn't really a thing before this time of everyone kind of being able to go anywhere and do anything for the most part. And so one of the most well-known of these is the Verson Company, which I think I might have talked before. I don't remember if it was built together or not, but it might be, which is a group that franchises out Verson stations, which are places where people can go in and send a message via a specialized meta circle to any other Verson station. So this is the most, by far, successful franchising situation because it provides a service that nobody else can provide. Now, the problem with all the franchising systems is that if you don't really provide something specialty or difficulty enough, then it's hard in the current state of Attovia to police that no one else is doing the same thing, right? The idea of ownership of ideas, of IP or copyright or anything like that is really only done in like the Zycluster Empire, the Shen Dynasty in specific things, and the Jalar Confederation. Everywhere else, there's really nothing you can do within the judicial system to stop someone else from copying your idea. Now, this is what's happening to the Amiri Pot storefronts. Minu Amiri, the inventor of the Amiri Pot, which is very successful, was very happy about this, was like, how do I propagate this more throughout the world? And so he got this idea of, I will train people for a small fee, then I will use that fee to aid in the overhead of getting them a storefront, and then they can go and use the skills I taught them to create Amiri Pots, sell them at the storefront, and I get 10 to 20% of the profit, the cut. Now, the problem is that Amiri realized really quickly that there was nothing he could do about making sure that these people didn't go and trade this information with other people that they knew, or that someone didn't come into one of those storefronts, buy a pot, copy the stuff, figure out how to do it, and do it themselves. And this is kind of the current problem with franchising in Attovia as it exists right now. Are there any franchises in your world? If no, why not? If yes, describe one that is well known. Thanks for building together.